For years, new age scooter buyers in India who did not want to blend into the crowd with a Honda Activa or a Suzuki Access have bought this. The Suzuki Burgman Street has symbolized aspiration for Indian motorists, and not without reason. It's accessible, yet sensible and comfortable, and at the same time it has the look and feel of a bigger, more premium product. But now there is a new product in town, one that promises to give you a big scooter experience at around the same price as the Burgman. That new product is the one to my left, the TVS Ntorq 150. Now I know what you're thinking at this point. Why are we comparing a 125cc scooter to a 150cc scooter? The answer is that we are not looking at the cubic capacity. We're looking at the type of buyer that both scooters are targeting, and also what they're offering for roughly 1,40,000 rupees on road in Mumbai. And you won't believe this, but this scooter actually does a lot of what the Burgman Street is so very well known for. Before we dive into this story, make sure you subscribe to Car and Bike and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we come out with a new feature story, a new car review or a new first look video. Now, let's go. Both scooters take a vastly different approach to impressing you with their design and styling. The Burgman Street relies mainly on its size because it derives influence from maxi scooters, and it does look pretty big and wide in the flesh. Even though I have to say, since it has been around for a few years without any major changes, it has started to look a little bit dated. As you can see, this particular example is wearing a full-fledged body protector. It may be part of the optional accessories list, but looking at the sheer number of scooters on the road with this, you'd probably think it's illegal to buy a Burgman Street without this body protector. The TVS Ntorq 150 on the other hand is actually the same size as the Ntorq 125, but it relies on bold design language and an even bolder color scheme to grab attention. I think it looks smart even though it may not be everyone's cup of tea. The LED headlights may look like they have been pulled off of a superbike, but it doesn't seem to be everyone's cup of tea. I feel this does make a pretty strong visual impact, but what do you think of it, and what do you think of the Burgman Street in 2026? Let me know in the comments. But even those seeking fun will need a dash of practicality, and that is why the Suzuki Burgman Street has been such a hit all of these years. The Ntorq 150 does get close when it comes to versatility. You see, it has a storage pocket at the front which is big enough to accommodate my smartphone, even though it's not covered, and if you do leave any valuables in there, they could get flicked pretty easily. And it does have a bag hook at the front. The seat is fairly large for what is a city commuter and a compact scooter, and underneath the seat you will find 22 liters of storage space. It's a wide and deep bin, but not deep enough to accommodate a large full face helmet. The one thing I do appreciate though is the fact that the fuel filler lid is not located under the seat. It's located just aft of the seat, which means that it is an external fuel filler lid that you can unlock and access much more easily, making refueling that much easier. But now we come to the Burgman Street, and the Burgman Street has just a little less underseat storage space at 21.5 liters, and this bay is not particularly deep, and it also has a few raised surfaces, so you will not be able to accommodate any large items over here. And unfortunately, it continues with an underseat fuel filler cap, making refueling that much more of an exercise. I don't know why this is still the case in 2026. However, you need to look at the size of this seat. This is a wide and generous seat, which means riders of all sizes will be far more comfortable on this. And while I'm talking about the seat, let me also talk about cushioning, because the cushioning on the Burgman Street is just perfect. It's soft but not overly so, which means you won't really sink into the seat, but even after riding this over bad surfaces and for an extended period of time, you will not feel tired. On the Ntorq 150, the seat is a little firm, too firm for my liking. And since we're talking about storage spaces, the Burgman Street also has a front storage pocket big enough to accommodate your smartphone, but it is covered, and it also features illumination as well as a charging port, which makes it that much more sensible compared to the Ntorq 150. It has an open storage pocket off to the right as well, and a big bag hook at the front along with another hook just under the seat. Plus, the floorboard is also wider than that on the Ntorq 150, which means you will have more room to place your feet and any other small bags that you may be carrying. Even though I don't particularly like the multifunction lock on the Burgman Street, I feel like it needs to evolve and be where we expect it to be in 2026. But from a practicality standpoint, the Burgman Street still towers over the Ntorq 150. So the Burgman Street looks more imposing, is more practical, should be a pretty easy pick, no? But the picture changes entirely when you ride these scooters back to back, because the Ntorq 150 shows just how far accessible scooters can go in terms of pure performance. On the move, the Burgman Street EX is relaxed and free-flowing. The riding position is comfortable, the seat is welcoming, the suspension is compliant, and the engine is smooth with strong initial pickup. The way it climbs up to highway speeds is impressive, but what's even more impressive is the refinement. Power delivery is linear and predictable, and the Street EX is in chill mode all the way up to 90 km per hour, beyond which it feels a touch strained and out of its element. In contrast, the Ntorq 150 feels more gruff at idle, but find an open stretch of road and it will show a clean pair of heels to practically every other vehicle on the road. The way it pulls from standstill to 60 km an hour is unmatched by a scooter at this price. And not only does it breeze past 100 km per hour with ease, it can hang on to triple digit speeds comfortably on the highway. Despite employing the same 12-inch wheels as the 125, the Ntorq 150 feels unruffled even at high speeds. Carves up corners eagerly, and when you need to stop in a rush, the brakes, paired with ABS, do a stellar job of ensuring you never get into trouble. And despite being so much fun to ride, the Ntorq is also comfortable. The ride quality has only a hint of firmness, but it's settled and pliant over even broken stretches of road, and you won't feel worn out even after a long stint on the Ntorq, which is commendable. From an everyday usage standpoint, I don't think there's another scooter that slices up city traffic and pulls off highway runs with the kind of ease and comfort the Ntorq 150 does at this price.
During our comparison test, the Burgman EX returned a fuel efficiency figure of around 45 to 47 km per litre, but the Ntorq 150, despite its bigger and more powerful engine, surprised us with a fuel efficiency figure of 44 km per litre, which could rise higher if you ride with a lighter right hand.
And now we come to the part of the comparison that makes these two look more closely matched than ever, and I'm talking about the pricing. You see, the Burgman Street EX in top spec form with Bluetooth connectivity will cost you around 1,31,000 rupees on road, but with the added accessories which most buyers tend to go for, the price rises to close to 1,40,000 rupees on road in Mumbai, and the TVS Ntorq 150 is available at 1,45,000 rupees on road in this particular variant. But if you can live without the TFT display, you can have the Ntorq 150 for around 1,35,000 on road, which makes it about the same price as the Burgman Street. Some of you may think that the buyers are completely different for both scooters and that priorities will dictate choices. However, I feel the TVS Ntorq 150 makes it clear that accessible scooters do need to move on and evolve in terms of both performance as well as features. This not only looks striking, but it has all of the features that you'd hope to find in a bigger, more powerful scooter, while also being priced realistically and within reach of most Indian buyers. And that's why, for me, even though I quite like the Burgman Street, if I had to pick between these two, it would be the Ntorq 150 because to me it represents the aspirations of India's new age scooter buyers in 2026.
Since the time this comparison was shot though, Suzuki has rolled out a heavy update for the Burgman Street range, which brings a fresh look, new features and an updated powertrain, but also brings the Burgman Street nearly on level terms with the Ntorq 150 as far as price is concerned. And remember, the Burgman Street is still a 125cc scooter, but the fight between the two could be closer than ever.
But what do you think of these two scooters? Have you considered either of them, and are you now going to look at the other in case you haven't considered it previously? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it informative, then remember to give us the thumbs up. And if you know somebody who may be looking to buy either the TVS Ntorq 150 or the Suzuki Burgman Street, then remember to share this video with them.